Well, Drawing Blood is set within the world of comics, and it's kind of like, I use it as it's kind of like Spinal Tap approach on heavy metal, set within the world of heavy metal, but we wanted to create, Dave and I wanted to create a fictional character that we could take anecdotes from experiences that not only I had in the world of comics, so it's semi-autobiographical to a point, but then stories that we'd hear from other artists and writers and people that have experienced Hollywood, or fan anecdotes or things like that. So we sort of twisted everything in this blender up into Shane Bookman, so we call it the completely fictional true story of Shane Bookman. Yeah. So we could put him through the paces and do some really fun, creative things. But it's he's struggling. He's looking for his creativity. He's making some questionable choices. I was trying to honest mistakes. Yeah. Questionable, no. And so we're having a lot of fun with this character in particular.
Kevin had been working on it since 2005 under the title, when he said the title, he said to me, "This is a bad title. We're going to change it." Of On the Shoulders of Giants, and we were talking about it in 2015 at San Diego Comic-Con. I only talk about comics with a drink in my hand, and. We were at the bar at the Bayfront Hilton, and he started telling me about this story, and we were walking to a signing that he had to do at IDW, and while we were walking along the bay behind the convention center, I was thinking about what's a good phrase that evokes being an artist and a cartoonist, and yet being in crisis and being in pain, and Drawing Blood came to me. And as we were walking in the back door of the convention center, I tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Drawing Blood," and he went, "Awesome!" Because
that's it.
Kevin. One of the great things about working with Kevin is he is an enthusiast. So he lets you know when you do it right. So that's where the title came from, and that was the beginning of developing it.
Ben is a self-publisher. Had sent me one of his graphic novels called The Aggregate, and asked me to do a quote in support of it, and I really fell in love with the book. And it just happened to be around the time that David Avallone and I, co-creator of Drawing Blood, we were looking for an artist, and we both looked at him and we should get this guy. Yeah. And it's we'll never get him. He's probably unavailable. Reached out to Ben through a mutual friend, and luckily he was available and came on board. So we're blessed. It was meant to be.
Yeah. The book Kevin mentioned, I had Kickstarted, The Aggregate, and so when it came time to do Drawing Blood, they were like, "Do you think we should do it that way?" And we ended up doing Drawing Blood Volume 1 through the Kickstarter. It was a huge success. We had a goal of 75,000. I think it went to 105 or 106.
106, yeah.
And so we just launched August 1st the Volume 2, which will be essentially issues 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that's going to run until August 31st. And we're only about 12,000 away from our goal right now. So we're really pushing to hit it this weekend so we can do a live thank you video and all hug and drink. And so if you go to drawingbloodcomic.com, you can pre-order the book essentially, and you'll help us get to the goal. And if we get to the goal early, we unlock a lot of free stuff like radically rearranged Ronin ragdolls, the samurai cats who love sushi. So. Yes. A lot of free stuff.
Why should they pick it up? Because it's funny and it's smart and it's entertaining. I mean, it sounds like some of it is pretty dark stuff, but the tone of it is actually pretty light and pretty funny. And it's sort of, if you are a fan or you're on the periphery of the world of comic books or show business or you're a fan of anything, it's what it's like to be in this industry and to try and make a life for yourself in comic books, in show business, anything like it.
And there's no other book like it, honestly. There's nothing else like it, where you see behind the curtain, the story behind the stories of how these comics are made and what happens when they succeed, and then what do you do after that.